If you're planning on buying the iPhone 15 or 15 Pro, don't make a mistake. I think the iPhone 14 Pro is a better deal, and I'm gonna prove that. Hi, it's me, Andy, and let's start with cameras. The iPhone 14 Pro has the main 48 megapixel sensor that's actually bigger than the one on the regular iPhone 15. But it's a bit smaller than on the 15 Pro, yet the resolution is the same, 48 megapixels. In good lighting, the photos will be just as good on the 14 Pro as on the 15 Pro. Yes, the resolution of shots might be a bit lower, since the iPhone 15 series all shoot in 24 megapixels by default. But if you turn on Pro RAW and compare two 48 megapixel shots, you won't see any difference between 14 Pro and 15 Pro. And if you use 48 megapixel HEIF photos, then the 14 Pro will shoot even better photos than the iPhone 15. The iPhone 15 can't shoot ProRes at all. Also, let's not overrate the impact of the photonic engine, because the iPhone 14 Pro shoots just as well at night as the 15 Pro. Aside from that, the ultra-wide camera on the 14 Pro is exactly the same as on the 15 and 15 Pro. The photos will be identical to the last pixel. Another camera-related reason to choose 14 Pro over 15 and 15 Pro is the zoom lens. All three phones have 2x digital zoom, and on all three it works the same way, with identical results. But 14 Pro has an additional 3x zoom lens. The regular iPhone 15 doesn't have that, and the 15 Pro uses the same exact sensor as the 14 Pro, so you lose nothing here. Even in terms of videos, all phones are identical: 4K 60 for regular videos, 4K 30 for cinematic videos, and 2.8K 60 for action videos. The iPhone 14 Pro has a very capable camera that is only a tad bit worse than on the 15 Pro. Also, check out my long-term review of the iPhone 14 Pro by clicking right here. Another big reason to choose 14 Pro is its durability. If you've seen drop tests, you'd know that the iPhone 15 and 15 Pro get their back glass shattered easily. The iPhone 14 Pro, with its stainless steel frame, survives drops much better, which is always great. And stainless steel just looks better than aluminum on the iPhone 15. Yes, steel is less visually interesting than titanium on the 15 Pro, but it just gives a different vibe. To me, the iPhone 14 Pro looks more like a fashionable device, a jewel of sorts. So if you want to look cool on a budget, the iPhone 14 Pro is the one to go for. Yes, the iPhone 14 Pro doesn't have the Type-C like the iPhone 15 does, but I think it's not an issue for the majority of people. Lightning might be less modern, but let's not forget that Lightning is the default iPhone cable for millions of people. So when you're out with your friends, they are more likely to carry Lightning around than Type-C. Unless you have Android friends, of course. What I also want to touch on is the display, because the iPhone 14 Pro here is 2 steps ahead of the iPhone 15 and only half a step behind the 15 Pro. It's the same 6.1-inch panel as on the iPhone 15, with the same bezels all around, but it has ProMotion and Always On. I know, not everyone uses Always On, but ProMotion is something you just can't live without once you try. The brightness on the iPhone 15 and 14 Pro is the same, 2000 nits. I've used the iPhone 14 Pro for some time, and I can say it's an amazing display, a huge upgrade from all iPhones before it, and ProMotion is real magic. So if you choose the 14 Pro over the iPhone 15, you're gonna get a better and smoother display with Always On. Just wait till I get to the price, I promise it's gonna blow your mind. Another area where the iPhone 14 Pro proves to be a monster is the performance. The A16 inside the 14 Pro is the same as in the regular iPhone 15, so they are absolutely identical in terms of performance. All games and apps will launch on the 14 Pro just as fast as on the iPhone 15 or even 15 Pro. Don't act surprised, the A16 is only slightly less powerful than the A17 Pro. It doesn't support ray tracing, but who needs it anyways on a phone this small? The performance here is off the charts. I could also say a few words about the colors, because the regular iPhone 15 and 15 Plus are kinda disappointing this year. With their pale colors, they look super generic to me, but 14 Pro in black or purple looks stylish, mature and respectable. It sends a message, you know? And there's also battery. The iPhone 14 Pro, according to Apple's website, lives just as long as the iPhone 15 Pro and slightly better than the iPhone 15. In my experience, the iPhone 14 Pro is more than enough for a full day of use, unless you just can't live without scrolling TikToks all day. The battery on the 14 Pro definitely shouldn't be a concern. Now here's the big reveal. The iPhone 14 Pro is cheaper than the regular iPhone 15. Yep, the iPhone 15 costs $800, while the 14 Pro goes for $30 less than that. And it's over $200 cheaper than the 15 Pro. And I think, at that price, the 14 Pro is much better than the iPhone 15 or 15 Plus. It has a better display with promotion and always on, better set of cameras with 3x zoom that really makes you feel pro, better materials, stainless steel versus aluminum, same exact chip and identical performance in all tasks, identical if not better battery life, and it just looks much better. With the iPhone 14 Pro, you will look richer and more successful, which is kinda the point now. If you have the iPhone 14 Pro, share your experience in the comments. Thanks for watching and have an amazing day!